What is up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Hope everybody's doing good. Um, I'm back finally. Um, been like 7 months, I think, since my last video, which is kind of insane. Just had a lot going on. I know I say this every time. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just haven't been super motivated to make any videos lately, but kind of been wanting to get back into it recently, and I've got a few ideas in the works, but I figured I'd get back in with something that's kind of a little bit easier, shorter, than or less involved, kind of. So what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna try to keep this a weekly thing, is I'm just gonna basically talk about 10 albums that I've listened to. In the past week. I listen to a lot more than that every week. I'm always listening to music, a mix of stuff I already love, and constantly looking for not new stuff necessarily, but stuff I haven't heard. Um, so it's gonna be kind of like 10 highlights of my week, of what I've been listening to. So it's gonna be a mix of stuff I already have, as well as some things I don't have, maybe some things I haven't even heard ever before. So yeah, I just thought that would be kind of a fun idea. Um, so yeah, we're gonna just start off here with I'm gonna do first of all, I'm gonna do an honorable mention kind of thing. I'm doing a stream deep dive with Jeff over at Gas Masks and Hand Grenades on Tuesday, this coming up November 11th. I believe that's at 9 Eastern Time, 6 Pacific Time. Could be wrong, but I think that's when it is. Gonna be doing the band Camel, um, UK prog band. Um, just amazing band, especially their first four albums. If you're into prog rock at all, this is their second album, Mirage. Yeah, so I've been listening to these guys a lot this week, of course, doing homework for the deep dive. Um, we're going to be talking about them for hours, of course. So I'm not going to talk about that one much right now. Just wanted to shout them out. Um, all right. So also, first video I'm ever attempting to edit, so hopefully this works. There should be an album cover right here, right about now. And as you can probably see, Fate's Warning, Awaken the Guardian. I mean, what do you say about this? It's a total classic of early kind of prog metal, kind of US power metal, you could call it. A lot of just, straight up classic heavy metal as well. It's just there's enough prog in there to differentiate it from a lot of the bands of the time. There's some pretty complex rhythms in there and some just interesting song structures. Uh, really kind of cool fantasy themed lyrics and stuff like that. I love this band. Um, Honestly, they've been a slow grower for me. I remember back in high school getting into like Dream Theater and stuff like that. And at the time, I remember listening to Fate's Warning, and I was just so into like all the crazy technical stuff that, John Petrucci and the guys in Dream Theater were doing. And it kind of, I don't know, I thought Fate's Warning was kind of boring at the time. You know, fast forward a few years, and I really came to appreciate kind of their more stripped back, little bit, I don't want to say mellower, but compared to Dream Theater. They don't do all the flashy, crazy, kind of wanky stuff, which I don't listen to Dream Theater a ton anymore. I still like a few of their albums quite a bit, but I kind of prefer Fate's Warning at this point. Um, yeah, this was their last album, third album overall, last one with John Arch on vocals. Um, I love the Ray Alder material as well, but this album and The Spectre Within before it as well, which I also listened to this week. Um, just I don't know, they don't sound like anything else, and they don't even sound like what came after from this band. So just amazing, kind of proggy US power metal. If you haven't heard it, definitely check that out. All right, sticking with some more prog. Um, Another 70s band, Eloy from Germany. Silent Cries and Mighty Echoes. Uh, Always loved the gatefold artwork on this too. That's pretty cool. I'm a sucker for a good gatefold album cover. Um, anyway, these guys are one of my personal favorite German prog rock bands. Very kind of spacey, a lot of psychedelic stuff going on here. Can A lot of people compare them to Pink Floyd, kind of mid to late 70s era Pink Floyd. There are some similarities there, of course. Um, I'm sure they were influenced by Floyd. I mean, a lot of a lot of bands at that time were. Um, yeah, these guys just I don't know. They have their own spin on things though, too. Really kind of cool thundering bass grooves with these, cerebral floating synths over top and stuff like that. Um, Really cool drumming as well from Jürgen Rosenthal, who played on Fly to the Rainbow by Scorpions as well, for any metal fans watching this. That's a cool connection. Um, yeah, just really, really awesome, spacey prog rock. The vocals can be a tough sell for some people, I know. The guy's got a really sorry, what's his name? I should know that. Uh, Frank Borneman, uh, on guitar as well as vocals, and he does have a really heavy German accent, but I don't know. I've never minded it personally. It kind of gives it a unique charm. So I don't know. Yeah, just really, really cool prog rock. These guys had a run of, I want to say, about 8 albums or so from the early 70s to the early 80s, just all super solid prog rock. And they kind of evolved their sound as well, from starting off pretty heavy and then going into kind of more spacey psychedelic stuff. Really great band. Some technical difficulties, so I'll try to just splice this together later. Okay, next up is an American band from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Thought Industry, a band I was kind of familiar with. I had heard their first 2 albums, um, and I went back and listened to a fairly early episode of Radical Research podcast. Hunter Ginn and Jeff Wagner, amazing, awesome podcast. Check that out if you're a fan of weird rock and metal. Um, yeah, crazy, super unique band. They started out as a tech thrash kind of band and started to incorporate a lot more like avant-garde weirdness into their sound on the first couple albums. And then they kind of moved onto like alternative metal, alternative rock kind of sound. And yeah, I hadn't heard those last 3 albums that they put out until this week. And really cool stuff, honestly. I'm not the biggest excuse me, alt rock kind of fan. It's a style I like. I just haven't explored that world very much yet. But man, yeah, I'm gonna highlight their final album, Shortwave on a Cold Day, um, from 2001, and it's kind of a long album, to be honest. 16 songs, 17 if you count kind of a weird hidden track at the end, but man, the songs on this thing are just fantastic. Super well written. Um, Basically in the alternative rock style, kind of on the heavier side in spots, but just super atmospheric. Really lush production. Really emotive kind of melodies. Cool, interesting songwriting. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of just blew me away a little bit. I liked it a lot more than I expected to be honest. Um, Unfortunately, the CD is long out of print. They were still on Metal Blade at this point, kind of a weird fit for that label, but they just stuck with them for their whole career. This thing was issued on CD in 2001 and never been repressed. So I looked up looked it up online to see if I could get a copy. $144 Canadian shipped. So yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Um, Hopefully that gets a repress someday. It deserves it. I mean, I think this could have been a pretty big album, honestly, if it had had the right push at the time. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. Um, all right, next up, The Gathering with Nighttime Birds, their fourth album from. Sorry, should have pulled this up. I believe it was. Let me just check here. 1997. This came out, and kind of an evolution of their sound from Mandylion, which is their first album with Annika von Giersbergen. Man, amazing voice. Um, I really enjoy all their albums that she's on. I haven't listened to the last few after she left the band, but you really can't go wrong with any of the albums she's on. This one is kind of, I don't know if I like it quite as much as Mandylion. It's a little less heavy, maybe. Still kind of in a doom metal sort of zone, kind of gothic metal, almost post metal in spots, you could say. Um, it's kind of hard to categorize, a little bit proggy in places as well. But man, just yeah, I don't know, just again, very emotive kind of album. Her these heavy kind of trudging riffs with her absolutely gorgeous soaring vocals over top. Just a really cool, unique combination. And for anyone, yeah, anyone interested in doom metal or post metal or just, metal with female vocals, this is definitely worth checking out. It's very psychedelic too. That's another way I could describe it. They got more kind of psychedelic after this album, went in kind of more of an art rock direction, which those albums are also great. So, um, yeah, really, really great album. Um, all right, sticking with female vocalists, with Kate Bush with the sensual world. Man, this album is just amazing, just gorgeous. Art pop, progressive pop, I guess you could call it. This one was kind of a grower for me. I guess especially coming after a couple of other albums that I really love, like The Dreaming and of course Hounds of Love, her biggest album. It's got Running Up That Hill on it and all those great songs. Um, this one, yeah, this one was kind of a grower for me. To be honest, I liked it at first, but man, every time I listen to this, it just gets better and better. The title track is just amazing, just beautiful. Um, yeah, I don't know. This is some of the best like 80s pop I've ever heard, to be honest. It's just she was so masterful at like I don't know, just songwriting in general, but also just the way everything is layered in these songs. Again, really like lush instrumentation. Um, the musicians she has on these albums as well are just fantastic. David Gilmour even appears on here on Rocket's Tale. He does some guitar work. Yeah, just amazing, amazing stuff. The Fog on here is great. Love and Anger. This woman's work, just yeah, amazing, amazing album. One of her best. Probably probably top four for me in her catalog. Um, All right, next up, a weird one. Comus with First Utterance. I listened to both of their 70s albums this week as well. They have a second album which gets kind of overlooked, honestly, in my opinion. It's not amazing, but it has a couple really great songs on it. But this debut, man, 1971, um, psychedelic progressive folk, I guess you would call it, and just really, really weird stuff. I first found out about this band from through Michael from Opeth. Um, he loves this album, I think. Um, their third album, My Arms Your Hearse, was named after a line from a song on this album. Um, and yeah, this is a weird listen. It's some of the songs are very beautiful and tranquil. Like The Herald is just an amazing, amazing, gorgeous, like acoustic guitar piece with female vocals and stuff. But then some of the other songs are just like really unsettling and weird. Very dark lyrics and stuff too. And it kind of, the whole album has this feeling, this kind of vibe. It feels like you're in like a a forest in the middle of nowhere and this I mean the lyrics in the first song kind of paint the picture. It's like you're being chased through a forest by this demonic kind of creature. Um yeah, so kind of a weird unsettling listen, but really cool unique stuff again. And I do want to pick this up on vinyl someday because I mean partly because of this. I'm a sucker for, like I was showing off with the Eloy, a good, 60s, 70s psychedelic, weird painted gatefold. I don't know. I'm a sucker for that for whatever reason. But yeah, really weird, but really cool album. Um, all right, next up, switching back to some doom metal again. Warning with Watching from a Distance. British band. Uh, Only put out two albums. I believe they broke up. I don't know if they have. No, actually, they didn't break up because I remember Peter over at the Metal Vault saying he saw them just the other day. Now that I think about that. Um, but they haven't done an album since 2006. This is their second and final album. Um, Man, this is just a bleak, bleak listen. Um, very, very slow overall. There aren't really very many up-tempo sections at all. Um, all the songs are very kind of methodically paced. They're not in a hurry at all to get through these songs. I mean, a lot of them are over 10 minutes. Um, and the vocalist is really very emotive. I seem to be using that word a lot today, but um yeah. Um I didn't listen to the entire lyrics. I was listening to it at work, which is probably a stupid place to listen to this album. Um I think but what I did hear of the lyrics, they're very kind of personal, autobiographical maybe. I'm not sure that the story behind this, but dealing a lot with, loss and stuff like that. Just a very kind of, I don't know. It's not an album you would want to listen to if you're already having a shitty day, to be honest. And a lot of people, anytime I have been meaning to check this out in the past, whoever is recommending it is always says, you know, don't listen to this if you're having a crappy day. You got to be ready because it's a journey for sure. Yeah, but very well done. I don't know how often I'll be returning to this. I definitely do want to pick this up at some point. Um, I think it's one of those albums too where it will kind of grow on me over time with repeated listens. Um, but yeah, that's kind of my first impression of that. Really, really, really well done doom metal. Great riffing, amazing vocal delivery, and yeah, enjoyed it. All right. Next up, going with some more doomy stuff. Tiamat with Clouds. Um, Swedish band. This is their third album from. I should have pulled this one up to you. My bad. Um, 1993, 92. Yeah, third album in a row that sounds different than what came before it. Their first album was super primitive, um, like very primitive death metal. Um, I like it. I don't love it. It is kind of famous for being the first album recorded at Sunlight Studios in Sweden. Um, their second album, The Astral Sleep, they start incorporating a lot of psychedelic elements and more doom kind of stuff. This one is kind of an evolution of that. Um, I don't know. To me, this is the kind of perfect middle ground between like death doom and psychedelic rock, kind of. It does have some more up tempo stuff as well, but it's mostly slow to mid paced. I have heard some people complain about his vocal delivery on this album. Johan Edlund is the main kind of songwriter and guitarist as well, I believe. Um, I never minded his vocals on this. I feel like I read a review once that said he sounds like a constipated hippo or something like that. But I don't know. He's kind of got it's a unique delivery. It's kind of like halfway between like a kind of shout and a typical death metal vocal. But yeah, man, I just love the songs are super memorable on this. All the cool like psychedelic elements coming in. There's all these passages of clean guitars and keyboards and stuff like that. Um, yeah, very much like if a 70s, 60s, 70s psychedelic rock band decided to play Death Doom. So yeah, very, very cool album. Check it out if that sounds interesting to you. And next up, a classic, Blue Oyster Cult, um, Fire of Unknown Origin. Man, this is just a near perfect 80s rock album to me. Blue Oyster Cult is one of those bands that they were never really a prog band, but you could tell that they listened to some of that stuff. Um, I don't know, just they always just had their own sound to me. Um, a lot of this album is very, very catchy, easy to digest, but they throw in a lot of like just interesting little elements, whether it's a little weird rhythmic thing that they do, or just the ways the songs are structured. Um, yeah, I don't know, just super, super well written album. I mean, you have so many classic songs on here. The title track is so, so good. Burnin' for You, one of their big hits. Veteran of the Psychic Wars is amazing. Soul Survival, Heavy Metal, The Black and the Silver, Vengeance, The Pact, After Dark, Joan Crawford, man, and Don't Turn Your Back. I mean, start to finish, not a bad song on here at all. Basically, I don't know, maybe my favorite BOC album. Some days, I don't know. I love the debut. I love Tyranny and Mutation, Agent Secret Treaties. Spectres has really grown on me. I don't know. They're a great band, man. One of my favorite bands for sure. And finishing off with one more of my favorite bands, Thin Lizzy, Black Rose, a rock legend. Um, man, another just classic. Um, I will say it's not my favorite Thin Lizzy. I always loved the artwork on this. Sorry, my Still feel like a noob doing this. Shitty camera quality, bad lighting. Don't know where to hold it, but oh well. You can look it up on Google. Man, there are some amazing songs on here. I mean, you got great stuff like the first two tracks, Do Anything You Want to Do, Toughest Street in Town, Waiting for an Alibi, man, so good. Got to Give It Up, um, With Love, and I'm gonna mispronounce this, but Roisin Dub, Black Rose, a rock legend, the title track, man, that is essential for anyone into 70s hard rock, proto metal stuff. Check out the title track. Just 8 minutes of epic uh, twin guitar wizardry. Um, this is their one and only album to feature Gary Moore on the entire album, so that's notable. Amazing player. I need to check out some more of his solo stuff one of these days, but yeah, not a perfect album. There's a couple songs on here that I don't love, but Sarah as well, the kind of uh, little psychedelic tribute. It's not psychedelic. It's more like kind of almost jazzy in a way. I don't know. Kind of a tribute to his daughter, which is cool. Um, but yeah, just not my favorite Thin Lizzy, but still a fantastic album. Some absolutely amazing songs on that. So that's it. Yeah, gonna try to do these weekly if I can. Hopefully have one out kind of Sunday evening. Um, I don't know. Give some, give anybody who wants to check it out something more fun than work to do on Monday. Um, yeah, I'll try to have one of these out next week. Check out that Camel deep dive on gas masks and hand grenades. Tuesday, November 11th, 6 p.m. I believe, Eastern Time, 9 Pacific. And yeah, if you have heard any of these albums, let me know what you think in the comments. Would love to hear your thoughts. I mean, that's what this is all about, sharing our thoughts about the music we love and, you know, turning turning people on to stuff that they may not have heard. So if there's something that catches your ear or your eye from this that you haven't heard, if you decide to check it out, definitely get back to me in the comments. Let me know what you thought, and if you have anything that you think I would like that you want to recommend in the comments, or anything else, love to hear from you. So, see ya in a week, and until then, take it easy.